Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video I'd like to speak with you about Convoy to DC 2022. Now before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased owner-operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always guys, big thank you for all the likes you've provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them coming, and let's talk about Convoy to DC 2022 and what that's all about. Now, those of you guys who follow our channel, you might remember last week we made a video about the Canadian Truckers Freedom Convoy. If you haven't seen that video, definitely take a look here in the corner. I'll leave a little card so you can watch that video. Very important video in my opinion, only because it covers certain aspects that unfortunately the media chooses not to cover, and it might be eye-opening and very interesting for you as well, and it might make this video here make a lot more sense if you haven't seen any sort of coverage online or on your on television. So now, the American truckers are planning to do basically the same exact thing. The only major difference would be the sheer size of the entire operation, only because there's a whole lot more trucks in America than there are in Canada. You know, America really is a nation of truckers, and there's just a lot more folks out there who are willing to participate. Now, this, as I mentioned, is being referred to as Convoy to DC 2022, and to kind of give you an idea about the sheer size difference, here's what we're looking at. See, Canada has approximately 35,000 to 60,000 owner-operators. Now, it's very difficult to put a hard number on it, because unfortunately Canada does not truly define who an owner-operator is or what an owner-operator is, unlike the United States. Now, in the US, we have over 350,000 owner-operators, and when we look at it from a slightly different perspective of small carriers plus owner-operators, we're looking at a very large number of folks. And oftentimes these small carriers, maybe a company that's got their own MC authority, very much similar to some of our customers, they might have one or two trucks and they refer to themselves as owner operators. Then you have the leased on guys like with A2C Logistics, where folks, you don't really want to run a trucking company, so they're leased on under somebody else's MC authority, and they're considered a leased on owner operator. Now, when you combine all these, the sheer numbers are absolutely astonishing. We have over 500,000 trucking companies in the United States, and here's the interesting part: 80% of these companies are considered small, which means they have 6 trucks or less. So the vast majority of the entire trucking industry in the United States is comprised of small trucking companies, and you bet most of these companies, many of these companies at least, would be taking part in such a convoy that's being discussed here in this video today. Now, there are in total over 2 million semi-trucks on the road in the United States. There are over 3.5 million semi-trailers that are available to be used for hauling freight across the country. And what's really interesting is that they're really gathering steam rather quickly, to a point where they're beginning to worry some of the powers that be. So for example, Facebook just removed a very large Facebook group called Convoy to DC 2022. It had over 130,000 members, and Facebook just got up and deleted that group for one reason or another, because I think they're worried that this is a central place for folks to gather and discuss ideas, and that's very dangerous and unacceptable. And so what we're talking about here is a very large gathering of trucks that would begin somewhere in California and then would go east, finalizing in DC, in Washington DC. Now, in all likelihood, they would probably take Interstate 40, because although there are other routes that could be taken, considering that it's starting out in March, tentatively, weather might be an issue. Going through Wyoming with that many trucks, counting on weather playing out, might be a bad decision. So I think that they would probably take I-40 and go east from there, maybe do a little loop-de-loop around Texas, come back up to I-40 and keep going east. But, we shall see what happens. And ultimately, what we're talking about here is but kind of maybe taking 2 weeks to flatten the curve and, and maybe telling the government to, comply and things will get back to normal, because at the end of the day, the supply chain would take an absolutely devastating beating if so many truckers would hit the road and be out of the general workforce that the U.S. economy is reliant on. And, speaking of government, the Biden administration is already up in arms about this, and they're supposedly moving around forces as well as funds to make sure that these things don't happen, that this convoy does not happen, and they're trying to stop it in its tracks before there's any sort of traction. And at the end of the day, guys, we shall see what happens. Cheers to Canada for showing the world how it's done. A lot of different countries in Europe are actually doing their own convoys. In fact, the farmers have joined in out in Canada. I'm assuming that in the U.S., we're probably going to see the farmer community jump in their tractors as well and join the truckers. Because at the end of the day, guys, we're all in this together, and we're going to show off the slogan loud and proud, as we are used to doing here in the United States. And like I said, the major difference is going to be the sheer size, and it will be definitely something to see. It will be definitely very, very interesting. Nonetheless, guys, please make sure to hit the like button on this video, share it on social media, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to switch over to camera. We're going to look over the loads we booked for our customers, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, guys. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Got vans and reefers absolutely killing it this week. We're going to cover a lot more loads than we normally do, so I am going to go through them very quickly. And as always, if you got any questions whatsoever about what we do or any of these loads that we're covering, leave your comments in the comment section below and make sure to address them. I'm going to start off with a reefer coming out of Waterloo, Iowa, with a 1-pick 2 dropper going to Washington, Iowa, and Macomb, Illinois. It's a 40,000-pound load of frozen food, running -20 on a reefer, 217 miles, booked at $2,200, got them $10.14 a mile. Then Jacksonville, Illinois to West Jefferson, Ohio. It's a light load, 10,000 pounds of paint, running 55 degrees on a reefer. 402 miles booked at $2,200 again, got them $547 per mile. Then Vandalia, Ohio, going to Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's a 40,000-pound load of foodstuffs, running at -5 on a reefer. 517 miles booked at $33.50, got them $648 a mile. Then Fogelsville, Pennsylvania to Tully, New York, 30,000-pound load of frozen foods, running -10 on a reefer. 185 miles booked at $1,700, got them $919 a mile. Then Macedon, New York, going to Abingdon, Virginia. It's a 35,000-pound load of bread, 660 miles booked at $3,800, got them $576 a mile. They finished off with Morganton, North Carolina, going to Milton, PA. It's a 41,000-pound load of chicken, running at 26 degrees on the reefer. 544 miles booked at $2,300, got them $423 a mile. Absolutely killed it this week. This is a reefer running Tuesday to Tuesday. Ended up grossing $15,550 in gross for the week. Running for a week, 2,525 loaded miles, running at $616 per loaded mile average. Very, very well done, guys. Gotta agree. Next, we got ourselves a dry van coming out of Payson, Utah, with 1-pick 4 dropper in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Staunton, Minnesota, Appleton, Wisconsin, and a final in Richmond, Wisconsin. Now, this is a 30,000-pound load of machinery parts. All the drops were first come, first serve. 1,620 miles booked at $6,000, got them $370 a mile, going to a very good market and a good number of miles at a good rate. Then out of Sussex, Wisconsin to Marion, Illinois, it's a 37,000-pound load of books. Really easy in and out. 427 miles booked at $1,950, got them $457 a mile, going to a really good market, especially for a dry van. Then out of Neely's Landing, Missouri, going to Denver, Colorado, it's a 12,000-pound light load of consumer goods. 949 miles booked at $4,600, got them $485 a mile. And that was it for them. They ended up running 2,996 loaded miles at an average of $419 per loaded mile and grossed $12,550 running Friday to Friday. So, $419 on a dry van, great miles, great gross, doing very, very well, and some fairly light loads, I would say. Well done, guys. Next, we got ourselves a reefer. Coming out of Lincoln, Nebraska, going to Osceola, Iowa, 30,000 pound load of frozen meats. Straight through delivery on this one, 172 miles, booked at $1,900, got them $11.05 a mile. Then Knoxville, Iowa to Trotwood, Ohio. Now this is a 42.5 load of fresh pork products running 28 degrees on the reefer. It was basically a product transfer from Hormel to Hormel. And it was originally booked at $3,800, but earlier that day the load got canceled while at the shipper, and we got a $250 tonneau, truck order not used. So in total, it was 540 miles, booked at $4,050, got them $750 per mile on the dot. Then out of Frankfort, Indiana, they took one pig 3-dropper going to Onalaska, Wisconsin, Rochester, Minnesota, and a final in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Now this was a 40,500 pound load of building materials. It was a dry load and running in this reefer, going basically to Home Depot's about 15 to 30 minutes apart. Per drop, and it was also the only the truck delivering at these locations, so rather quick in and out times. 590 miles, booked at $2,000, got them $339 per mile. And then out of Park Rapids, Minnesota, going to Dallas, Texas, 43.6 on the load. Frozen foods running a -10 on a reefer. 1,149 miles, booked at $4,800, got them $418 a mile, very respectable. And then out of Irving, Texas to Lubbock, Texas, it's a very light load, 4,000 pound load of chocolate running at 55 to 65 on the reefer. It was Wrigley's to McLean delivery, 339 miles, booked at $1,900, got them $560 a mile. And these guys ran for a week, running Tuesday to Tuesday, grossed $14,650 in gross for the week. It ran 2,790 loaded miles at an average of 525 per loaded mile average. Again, well done. Next, we got ourselves a dry van coming out of Los Angeles, California, going to Fort Madison, Iowa. 41,900 pound load of non-hazardous materials or chemicals. 1,854 miles, booked at $6,500, got them $351 a mile. Then we ended up getting $150 little tonneau that we ended up getting. It was a load that was actually canceled. The driver was basically in Davenport after fixing the truck, so basically he made a free $150. So we'll throw that in there. And then ended up taking a load out of Davenport, since there was no deadhead, to Hermiston, Oregon. Very respectable, 13,500 pound load of plastic films, 1,772 miles, booked at $6,100, got them $344 a mile. And that ended up being the week for this driver, running Thursday to Thursday, but only 6 days of OTR driving. There was 1 day in the shop, and they still ended up grossing $12,750 for their time out, with an average of $352 per loaded mile at 3,626 loaded miles running, and only 146 deadhead miles ran in total. So very, very well done. Great average, and got the truck fixed too, with some light loads in between. Next, we got ourselves a reefer coming out of Denison, Iowa to Bedford Park, Illinois. 43,500 pound load of frozen pork, running 0 degrees in a reefer, 435 miles, booked at $2,700, got them $621 a mile. Then Chicago, Illinois, going to Napoleon, Ohio. 26,000 pound load of frozen pork at 0 degrees, 219 miles, booked at $2,100, got them $959 per mile. Then right out of Napoleon, going to Medina, Ohio, or Medina, 25,000 pound load of frozen pork again. It was a reload from the same facility as delivered before. It was a straight through fast delivery. There was a $38 washout prior to the pickup, so that did cost a bit, but it was 149 miles. We booked that one at $1,500, got them $10.07 a mile. And then there was Macedonia, Ohio to Oakland, Kentucky, 40,800 pound load of Coca-Cola beverages, Protect from Freeze load, 439 miles, booked at $2,200, got them $501 a mile. Then Bowling Green, Kentucky to Franklin, Indiana, 40,000 pound load of frozen food, Kroger to Kroger delivery, 214 miles, booked at $1,800, got them $841 a mile. And it finished off with Anderson, Indiana, going to West Branch, Michigan. It's a 38,000 pound load of dairy products, running 35 to 40 degrees on a reefer, 364 miles, booked at $2,100, got them $577 a mile. Very, very respectable, even though I made a mistake in a rate. And that was it. They actually ran for a week, Monday to Monday, running OTR, grossed $12,400, ran 1,820 miles. That's it for the week, but it got $681 per loaded mile average, and Basically ran a bunch of short and sweet loads and all around Midwestern part of the country. Did very well and ended up in Michigan, where he's going to do very well next week as well. Next, we got ourselves a dry van coming out of Laredo, Texas, going to Salt Lake City, Utah. Light load, 13,000 pounds of palletized raw materials, 1,374 miles booked at $5,500. Got him $4 on the dot. Then right out of Salt Lake, going to Tulsa, Arizona. It's a 25,000 pound load of face masks, 669 miles booked at $2,500. Got him $374 a mile. Then Chandler, Arizona to Redmond, Oregon. It's a 20,000 pound load of electrical enclosures, 1,155 miles booked at $4,300. Got them $372 a mile. These guys ran for a week. 1 week, Monday to Monday, OTR running $12,300 in gross at an average of $385 per loaded mile, running 3,198 loaded miles. And then we have ourselves, let's take a look. It looks like a reefer coming out of Tacoma, Washington, going to Sydney, Montana. It's a 42,000 pound load of beverages. Again, a protect from freeze type of load, 1,101 miles. Running at $5,500, got him $5 a mile on a dot. Then Grafton, North Dakota, going to Faison, North Carolina. It's a 40,000 pound load of frozen French fries. We had to relocate to Montana, from Montana to North Dakota for kind of a better rate and get the kind of rates that we needed. And it was 1 day was lost there in relocation. But, you know, sometimes it's worth to drive some deadhead miles, which ended up being only 372 miles in this case, to get a better market rate and get into a better market. And that's what we did. Ended up actually paying off really well. 1,631 miles booked at $7,200. Got them $441 a mile and a very respectable amount of miles. These guys ended up running 6 days OTR, running Sunday to Saturday, grossed $12,700, ended up running 2,732 loaded miles at an average of $465 per loaded mile average. Did very, very well despite the 1 day lost in the market. That was definitely worth it. And we're going to finish off with a dry van coming out of Brainerd, Minnesota, going to Sparks, Nevada. 44.5 on the load of pet supplies. 1,691 miles booked at $6,500. Got him $384 a mile. Then Reno, Nevada to Indianapolis, Indiana with a very light load of 8,000 pounds of bookshelves. 2,058 miles booked at $5,974. Got them $290 a mile going to Indiana, an excellent market for dry vans. And that was it for them. They ran 1 week OTR, gross $12,474 in gross for the week, ran 3,749 loaded miles at an average of 333 per loaded mile average. As you can see, we've covered a lot of loads, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot of carriers, a lot of lease and owner operators making this kind of money and more every single week, and you can rest assured you can do the same thing if you have the willingness to work and the right equipment. Guys, give us a call or text us at 801-448-6363, whether you're a carrier running under your own MC authority or an owner operator who'd like to lease on with a better outfit. Again, 801-448-6363. Call or text or go to our website at aftdispatch.com/go. Fill out our chat box that you'll see in the corner in this video and send us your information. You can also subscribe to our newsletter, which will provide you lots of good, useful information that will be helpful to you in making your decision. But definitely don't sit around. Don't waste your time. The market is hot. Lots of great loads are available. Very good money is available to those who are working with the right outfit, right operation. So give us a call, text us, go to our website, and we'll see you guys next week. Until next week, guys, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.